In this video, I'm going to introduce rational indices. That's where we've got a base to a fractional power. So here's an example. So a to the power 1 over n. So the power is a fraction, it's 1 over n, where the numerator is 1 and the denominator is n. Now basically, the base stays the same when we're simplifying these kind of expressions, but the denominator of the fraction tells us what root we need to do. So in this case, because this is a general form, I'm going to do the nth root of the base a. Now the numerator tells us what power we then need to put that expression to. It's 1, so the expression stays the same. I'm just going to write some other rules down involving fractional indices. So here's another one. When you've got a to the power 1 over n, let's suppose that is put to the power n. Now using our law number 4, which is raising a power of another power, if I multiply this n, this power n, to 1 over n, I end up getting a to the n over n, which is just a to the 1, or just a. Let's write down another one where we actually have a numerator on the fraction that's not 1. So a to the power m over n. Now, as I've already described, the denominator of the fraction tells us what root we're going to do. So it's nth root of the base a, and then I'm going to place that all to the power m, which is the same as actually writing m there. All right, so there's your general rules. Now I'm going to do a couple of examples on this now. So the first example I will do involves a negative power. So the base 9 to the power negative 1/2. Remember the negative law, which is in the fifth law, which tells us that it becomes 1 over 9 to the power half. So the negative just tells us it's this to the power, that indices, but as a positive. So that can be rewritten as 1 over 9 to the power half. Now on the denominator, we've got a rational indices. So we now need to convert that into its simplest form. So the denominator is half, so that tells us I'm going to do the square root of 9, and obviously I'm going to put it to the power 1. Square root of 9, sorry, that's 1 over. The square root of 9 is 3, so that simplified becomes 1/3. Let's do another one that involves a fraction. Let's do 16 to the power 5 over 2. All right, so looking at this, we've got a whole number, base 16. I'm going to put the square root, because the denominator of the fraction is a 2, and then I'm going to put that all to the power 5. So we go square root of 16 all to the power 5, which is 4 to the power 5, which is 1024. Let's clear some space. And the last example I'm going to do is 16 to the negative 2/3. So looking at this, the denominator is a 3. That tells us we're going to do this cubed root. I've also got a negative power, so I'm going to do 1 over all of this. So I want to write that first. So 1 over 16 to the 2/3. Then I'm going to cube root the 16. That's funny because 16 doesn't cube root, so I'm going to have to pick a different number. Let's pick a different number. Let's go for 64. I'll just change the example. I do make mistakes sometimes. So let's do 64 there. Okay, so I'm still going to follow the same process. I've just got a different base. So 64 cubed root is going to give me 4. And then I'm going to put that to the power 2. So I get 1 over 4 squared, which is 1 over 16. All right, and that's everything you need to know about rational indices.